you. So thank you for joining this morning. My name is Kelly Haynes. I'm the internal sales manager here at KAFL, and I also help organize the education here at KAFL. And we thought today, the beginning of the year, it's a fresh start. We're all looking for new ways to grow our business in 2024. It'd be a great time to talk about policy review. Those of you who know me know that I have a background. I was a partner in a PNC firm for years. And just having those conversations about life insurance was always kind of funny. I never knew where to start, how you bring that up when you're not in that realm every day. And so we found that asking if they had a life insurance policy, so we had it for our records, was super helpful. A lot of times people come to the insurance company that their families are aware of, that they know that might have their homeowners or their auto, or that they have their financial planning at, and they'll ask at that point in time that something happens, hey, do you have their life insurance? Do you know where it is? Who do I call? What do I do? So we found it was always nice to just have a record of that. We would just ask, do you have life insurance? Can we just make a note of it in our system in case your family reaches out to us should something happen? And it's really funny how it changes the conversations that you start having with your clients. It really switches it up and changes it from like a sales mentality to more of a, you're looking to help. You really want to know where things are for my family, which I think was a really good switch. Dana, I know you had a couple comments on this when we were talking a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a less confrontational sort of approach. It doesn't make people feel like you're trying to sell them something or look for another avenue to make a pitch on something. It feels really collaborative and supportive and helpful in a way that, hey, we're not actually trying to sell you something. We're trying to help you and your family down the line have everything in one spot or easily accessible, and or maybe we can find something that's better. It does seem like a better approach, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And so what we've done is we've actually created a toolkit, and I'm going to share my screen so you all can see what we have. The first thing is that we created, and obviously you can modify, is actually a review offer. So once you start talking to your existing clients, if you don't already, about life insurance, would you like us to review your policy, make sure that it is covering your family the way you originally intended, and or that it's performing the way you originally intended. And so we had crafted a letter, again, that we're happy to share in this toolkit that talks to them about life insurance. You can send this out from your office. You can put it on your letterhead. Obviously, include your phone numbers or emails or whatever you'd like to do. But just talking to them about what a life insurance policy review is and why you feel that it would be a really good thing for them to do. And it's a service that you're offering, right? So lots of free value add that you're giving here by doing the policy review. In addition to that, and I have to stop and start sharing, I'm so sorry, is you might wonder, like, what do I say when we're looking at these policy reviews? Why would they change the policies they have now? What items should I be looking for that have adjusted in their lives? So things such as a change in career, obviously a change in the household. They have a couple more children, or their kids are in college now. How have their needs changed? Changes in taxes. So was that part of their original planning? Have things changed where we need to modify what they already have? Again, are there loans or withdrawals being taken out? What does that look like? How does that affect their policy moving forward? And then obviously some estate documents to discuss. Do they currently have a will, a power of attorney, a healthcare proxy? Just some things to make sure that are in the back of our mind, or that we mention and bring up that they might want to have on hand. And then lastly, what we created for you is the actual review form. And this is where you can give us the client information, the current policy information of what they have now, with some questions on, does this purpose still exist? The original reason for this policy, is it still there? Are there any loans? Do they feel that that coverage is still appropriate? I know a lot of us will get our policies and kind of be like, okay, that box is checked. I don't need to think about it anymore. I just know it's done. Not really realizing that it's something we should probably check in on every once in a while. And then are they looking for a new policy? Is it something where their old policy isn't performing? If so, what do they want that to look like? What is that objective there? And in order for us to assist, so this is something KAFL can really be a great partner with you on, is if you're able to get this authorization for release of records, we can actually get that policy 9 times out of 10. Sometimes it takes a little extra work, but we can get that copies of that policy or that policy summary and review it and then give you back a report of this is what they have, this is where it sits, this is a value. And really looking at that other paperwork and that the sheet above with the information of what they're looking for, really see if it still fits what they need. And so we can help you in that process to do that policy review. We feel it's a really nice way to start the conversation on life insurance if it's not something you're already doing every day, but also ways to really dig deeper and provide a service where you're reviewing things with your clients. You want them to know that you're there to help. Ways to get to that list of current policies that you might have, especially through KAFL. There are some really easy tools. You can call your teammates here at KAFL, any of your team, and just say, can I get a list of my life insurance policies? I'd like to do a life insurance review. I want to start that campaign. We can obviously send you the toolkit we've created and that you can modify and adjust and brand in your own way. And then if you have access to the advisor portal, that is probably one of the best tools here at KAFL that you're able to access. And I'm going to find where mine is. Here we go. So this is a dummy site, like a test site of the advisor portal. If you do not already have it, reach out to your team here at KAFL. We'll happily give you the registration link. But in here, it does have your cases. Typically, if it wasn't a test site, you would have a list of cases that you have with KAFL here on Inforce. I have to move you guys over. Bear with me for 1 second. Now I'm trying to find where there are cases. You are able to, when you see your cases, you're able to click on them and actually download the list. So you can get your own list of all of the clients you have with Inforce cases at KAFL. And again, this is on the advisor portal. If you do not already have access, please reach out to your teammates. We will get this for you, get it over to you. What questions do you have so far on anything we've shared today on policy reviews, language surrounding, anything else that you might need help with and getting this set up as a campaign in your practice?
I think that is actually a good way of looking at the life insurance reviews, kind of like we're looking at the policies with them, versus us like, oh, well, what do you have? And, is this good? So you're kind of being there with them because sometimes they don't even understand what their policies are, some of the details. So that kind of opens up that conversation. So, we have a better understanding and seeing if it makes sense still for the client. So yeah, no, that's a great point. But yeah, no, those actually are pretty good resources that you have or generated so far. So but yeah, I would definitely love to have access to the toolkit. And I don't have anything at the moment, but I do have access to that tech site as well, that
Great.
the portal. So yes, and I've used it, so I know exactly what you're talking about with the cases and all that. So but yeah, that's also a good tool as well. But I don't have anything immediately or comes to mind as of right now. But
Right. And is this something you discuss every day in your practice already, Bobby? I'm not familiar with you as an advisor, so I wasn't sure.
oh yeah, no worries. So yeah, so I work with Peter Derbacher. So I'm here on the team. So we just have a lot of cases that come through. So it's kind of a lot of monitoring and everything. So it's good to have access to that type of information, just to have the live, updates, kind of where the cases are and everything. But it is a good yeah, so pretty much every day or every other day, pretty much I'm checking that system essentially. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
That's
I
excellent.
was
I'm
going to
glad to
add
hear
one
that you're
thing.
using the portal.
yes, that
Yeah,
is
and I was
it
going
is
to
a
add,
great resource. Go ahead.
that with that authorization form, it's something that we have found to be really useful for some of the older policies that people have that have been processed through KAFL or even not through KAFL. But with the ones that were processed maybe 10 or more years ago, sometimes the advisor that wrote the policy is no longer contracted with that company. One, because they haven't written anything with them since then. The company's not in New York anymore. They're not offering insurance at all anymore, but KAFL's name is always on there as a servicing DA. So we will always have access to those policies where sometimes the agent would not. So that authorization form can get you access to that again, as well as allow us to order Inforce illustrations, which are also really helpful to have. Like, so if we stopped premium now, how long would this policy last? Or if we wanted to only put this much premium in, how long would the policy last? You can request different scenarios through us for your client and then go over those options with them. I've found that authorization form.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
I don't
morning,
see-
everyone. It's Lisa. Sorry, I don't have my camera on. I have a cold in my right eye and I look like a monster, so I did not want to scare everybody away today. Will you share those documents with us?
Yes, those will actually be sent out. Juniper will go through everyone who registered today and send those documents right out to them in that toolkit so that you have them on hand. Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
We were on the same page. I was just about to ask if we could send the portal registration link to everybody as well, because like Bobby was saying, that's such a good resource. I want to make sure that everybody here and everybody that registered for the webinar can have easy access to that as well.
And I appreciate Dana speaking to the fact that it doesn't even need to be a policy that was generated here at KAFL or that was written through KAFL. A lot of times with that authorization form, we're able to obtain information on an existing policy that we didn't write, that wasn't written through here, and really get the information you need to review and see with that client whether or not it's still doing what it's supposed to and still covering their needs the way that they originally intended. Even if their needs change, how can your policy change? Are there adjustments available to be made to it? And I know Cheryl, I don't know if your audio was working at the beginning or not, but asking, and I know you and I have talked about this before, but just asking where their life insurance is as a simple question. We're updating our system. Can you tell me where your life insurance is a great leading question to them saying, oh, I don't have any, or, oh, it's here. Oh, you have it? Would you like us to review it for you? It doesn't cost you a dime, but I'd love to sit down and look at that policy with you to make sure it's working for you. So there are some ways that we can pull that in and actually start those conversations, just in having the simple question to get that rolling, right? Just to bring something up that changes the tone of the conversation and changes the tone of what we do and how we service our clients every day.
Yes, and also that, yeah, that letter of authorization would be helpful as well. Just I know that, we have a couple of clients that, they have policies with other carriers that we didn't write. So, now we're kind of servicing them, or they want us to be kind of their servicing agent. So, it's kind of learning a lot about these policies that we didn't replace. I have no idea about. So there's actually a couple of scenarios that I have that would be helpful, for that, just so we can kind of help them in that way. And I guess there was another thing too. So probably after I would have to connect with someone about the tech site. I just want to have my own login, versus kind of sharing Peter's login. So when we go in there, just in that way, I can gain access. So that is something that I would want to work on, because he is sometimes has trouble with the site, so I like to go in there and do it for him. So so that would be helpful. Outside of that,
you can do that actually, Bobby. Is if you choose on the drop down assistant or something other than agent. and you can create your own login.
Okay.
So what will
Very good.
happen,
Yeah,
Bobby, is when you get that registration link, like Dana had said, there is a pull down of what the assignment, like what your assignment or your role is. If you put an assistant, you fill in your information for a sign-in, it will actually send it off to Peter to authorize you to use, because we know some advisors don't want any kind of, they don't want to share all the information with their assistants, but
Sure.
they do want them to have access to certain parts of it. So it'll actually send an authorization email back to him to approve. And then you'll have access to his whole book via Techvision, via that advisor portal.
Perfect. All
And
right.
if you
Yeah,
need any help
that'll be helpful.
along, yeah, if you need any help along the way, I believe Lisa is on your team here at KAFL, so she's always such a great resource.
Yeah, Bobby,
Yeah.
we can connect afterwards.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. Just
Cool.
be able to do that too. That'll be helpful.
Sounds good.
Another tip I had with that authorization is a lot of times I'll ask for the original illustration, the sales illustration. That way you can see what the client was expecting it to perform like versus how it actually was performing with an Inforce. So that's another thing that, you know, probably just like what to actually ask for from the original carrier as far as scenarios. But that I always found that having that original sales illustration is
Yeah, that is nice to have in hand, so you knew what the original intent was. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So thank you all for hopping on. I don't have anything further. We try to keep these short but sweet and interactive. We don't want to take a ton of time, but we're always here to give some sales ideas, some tips, and hopefully some resources that make life a little bit easier. Next month, we are going to go over on our webinar Wednesday, utilizing life insurance and retirement. So that'll be exciting. Our first quarter of the year, we're going to spend on life insurance. Then we'll be looking into DI a little bit, followed by long-term care, and then just some practice management and business development and growth, and obviously planning as we're way at the other end of the year, right? As we're closing out 2024, but now we're just ramping up to get started. So thank you all for hopping on and for your time. We'll get this toolkit out to all of you. If you have any questions along the way, again, reach out to your KAFL team. We're all here to help. So everyone have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
thanks.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you.
Bye.